Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning into the second episode of 4ZZZ Off Air. I am Grace.
And I'm Claire.
Thanks for everyone who watched the first episode last week. That was a lot of fun to put together, and thank you for everyone who sent us some feedback as well. If you have any more, we're going to take some of your feedback
on this email on the screen.
Yeah, cool. So today we're going to get right into it. What have we got in store?
Well, to start off, it's new records. I'm looking at a new one from Gordi, and you're chatting Jessy Lanza.
Yep, her second album.
That's exciting. And in Spotlight, we're looking at this weird 2016 phenomenon of dropping your album in the middle of nowhere. Looking at you, Radiohead, James Blake, Beyonce, you know.
I love it.
All of you.
Spoiler alert, I love it.
Plus, of course, we'll be chatting about gigs we went to, gigs we want to go to, and things that you should probably know about because they're going to be happening in Brisbane this week.
Heaps and heaps.
So I guess we'll kick off by chatting about records. Tell me about Jessy Lanza.
Jessy Lanza is a Canadian gal, and this is her second full length called Oh No. First one came out in 2013, and it was really in that kind of run of pared back, sparkly pop kind of production. So if you like Kalela or Yumizuma, this is a record that's definitely for you. So the single that she's put out already is called VV Violence, and it's really like upbeat, but still it's not over the top electro pop. It's really, really nice, really easy to listen to, and it's got a really great bass line, so listen out for that one. Yeah.
Well, I actually haven't listened to it, so I feel like...
Do you want to, when you watch this, you can take notes?
I didn't do my homework, I'm sorry.
It's fine, you just... Second warning, okay?
In my defense,
Yeah.
I actually have listened to a lot of Gordi's debut EP. Not in the least because the majority of it is a bunch of singles that she's put out over the last 2 years. But her EP is coming out May 13. It's called Clever Disguise. And as I said, it kind of features mostly songs that we've already heard from her. The latest was Wanting, which came out a couple of weeks ago, but it's also got some of the ones from last year, Can We Work It Out, which is...
That's a melter.
Such a good track, and it's really cool. It's got like a piano, like acoustic kind of extra rendition of that track at the end as well. So, but it's pretty much everything that we've already heard from Gordi, but packaged in an EP, which is kind of nice because when you drip feed singles, you don't really get a big picture of the artist, but really cool. And she's just about to go overseas and playing in Europe and America and doing all this crazy stuff, so I'm sure that when she gets back from all that, she'll also tour the EP, which will be really exciting.
For sure. Gordi is kind of who I want to be when I grow up, I think.
She is amazing.
Yeah.
She's like doing all this musical stuff, but also a medicine student, like 5th year medicine student.
Like, if that's your backup plan, like you're on the trajectory to becoming a really successful artist.
Right? Oh, if my music doesn't work out, I'll just be a doctor.
Same. If this doesn't work out, I'll just go do medicine. Why didn't I think of that earlier?
Good luck with that.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate that.
Spotlight this week, though.
Yeah, I'm happy to talk about this because big fan of the surprise album, which is what we're talking about.
I don't know if I am.
So, okay, we've just had, in the last week, James Blake and Radiohead announce 2 new albums.
Well, not announced, just sort of drop them.
Yeah, right, because James Blake was... So this is his 3rd full length, and I love it as well. It's just... I'm loving a lot of things this week. Yeah, but it was like, you know, article says James Blake dropping new album tonight, and the next day you wake up and you got a James Blake album. Like, what's not to like about something like that?
Yeah, I suppose the build up for Radiohead's 9th record was a little different because they deleted their entire social media presence and like put out those 15-second Instagram videos. Then they released this first song, then they released the second song, and then it's like the album is going to be coming out on May 8th. And so I guess it was announced, but it's also not the traditional kind of like lots of warning and press around it. And I don't know, I think it's exciting, but I mean, obviously Beyonce did exactly the same thing before with Lemonade, and I get that it's really exciting and like a cool trendy thing to do, but it's also a bit like, oh, I'm so good and I'm so artistic that I can just drop a record and people will flock to it anyway. And like, they're all great, amazing records, obviously. They're like 10 out of 10 records, all 3 of them.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you're like, are you like too in your own fame to just...
Well, that's it. Like, do we care that they're too in their own fame? Like, Beyonce is worth dropping a surprise album, because when she did it for her self-titled last release in 2013 or 14, everyone was just like, what? It just blew people's minds. And then she obviously released the whole visual album to go along with it. It was a massive success. So obviously she's just, you know, that formula works for someone like Beyonce, someone like James Blake, someone like Radiohead, who don't need to go through these kind of arduous and kind of unnecessary press build-ups. They don't need the publicity, especially with the internet.
I guess for me, it's just like this example of artists sticking it to the system that back in the day really helped them. Like when you're going to be taking that, oh, I'm so much better than the machine and the man upstairs because I can do this thing. Like there are plenty of people who could drop an album tomorrow without announcing it like Beyonce and nothing would happen.
Yeah, oh, for sure.
You have to be Beyonce or you have to be someone like that. This week in Things We Liked, I went to a gig and you almost went to a play.
Because last week you went all Shakespearean on me and I was like, damn, I have to be sophisticated now. So I tried to go to a play written by Zed's very own Miranda Sparks. You can hear her on Megahertz. It's called Cassandra and the Boy Doll, and it's basically about, it's a transition story, so it follows the story of a trans woman, and basically she's trying to figure out what she's now to do with her male identity. But we rocked up to the This Must Be the Place and it wasn't on that night. But
classic.
It said really, so on the internet.
I think you liked, but you don't know if you like it or not.
Well, there was a really good photo exhibition called Objectify Me there, so we had a look around at that, and that was nice and sophisticated as well. So take that, Claire. I can be classy too.
What kind of photos?
It was all trans portraits, and it was accompanied by a little blurb and captioned with just like either a snippet of their day-to-day life, something that they've been through or something that's, you know, affected them recently. It was really, really nice. Just really simple and well done.
So on Saturday I went to the Foundry and saw Hines, who are an all-girl band from Spain. They were really great. The whole stage had been set out with like all these fairy lights and flowers going all over the microphones. Local band supporting Tempura. Love those guys. You know, Crease's DJs. It was one of those not to be missed little support slot nights, which you missed.
I hate
but they were really great. Their 2016 record Leave Me Alone was really good. I enjoyed it, and yeah, they've done this tour around Australia, which is cool because, you know, to get a band from overseas that isn't the UK or the US is kind of cool as well. Got to practice my Spanish for that habla español. Actually didn't at all because that would have been super embarrassing. But you know, I could have if I wanted to.
That's the thing that counts.
I have done level 1 Spanish, so yeah. Look
Hot shot in the house. So what about this weekend? What are you doing?
Things that you shouldn't miss this weekend. There are so many things. I haven't actually yet decided which one I'm going to rock up to. Yeah. I might do my classic try and catch a couple on the same night, like hope they don't align. But to start with, Friday 30th, spooky. Belligerents are playing at the Foundry. Their track Before I Am is one of my favourites of the year so far from the local band. They are so good live as well. So I'm really looking forward to hopefully catching them. Any of you Violent Soho fans out there are probably going to catch the last of their 3 dates at the Tivoli. And as well, Machine Age and Darling James are playing at the Milk Factory. And I've been loving Machine Age's new material, so it's kind of like, where do I go?
I can't believe that's just one day. That's just Friday. So Saturday, when you recover from Friday, you're going to start early at Sonic Sherpa. That's Summer Flakes. She's doing an in-store there, and then later in the night she's playing at Train Spotters. You can also catch Major Leagues. They're touring with Flower Truck at the moment at the Foundry. And the Strums are playing at Black Bear Lodge, and M83 are at the Tivoli. So yeah, you have no excuse to stay inside this weekend.
Camp out all night. Just party through Friday and Saturday. Yeah, I think it's a really exciting time. Lots of live stuff happening in Brisbane, and hopefully you can get along to one or more of those things. I guess that's the end of yet another show. How time flies.
Right?
Thanks so much for watching yet again. We love that you are actually, clicking on this video.
Thank you for doing that. That was a nice
weird.
thing.
Wasn't expecting it.
No, I knew we'd be famous.
Oh.
We're famous now.
YouTube famous?
Do we get paid?
I don't know.
Oh. Well, maybe not then.
Well, we'll see. Anyways, we've been Claire and Grace. We'll be back next week with more 4ZZZ off air. Make sure you get out and see some live tunes.
See you this weekend.
Woo.